turbo indigestion this morning. Oh, are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fascinating episode of Being Groovy with Stevie D. It's always wonderful to be back on the air after having been taken to a remote forest and flogged by elderly nuns, but hey, everybody's got to get their kick somehow, and I really didn't mind. Okay, I guess I wasn't supposed to say that. In reality, we were taken off the air for me briefly exposing myself to a group of Kiwanis members in Fernley, Nevada. But most of them were demented enough to enjoy it, and my Uncle Jerry had some connections with the FCC, so our meager excuse for a license is solidly intact, at least until I say something really stupid again. And we have recently been voted the 4th grooviest show on public television. Save your applause until the end, please. Actually, our competitors stole votes from several dead people. True story. Tonight, we have a lot of tasteless jokes and inappropriate adult stories to tell in an extremely inadequate attempt to get our ratings up to at least 3rd, or not lower than 7th place in our time slot, which is, I'm not exactly sure what our time slot is, or if there is such a thing as a time slot, but at least no one will ever mistake me for my evil twin brother Cornelius in this time zone. And also tonight, our illustrious producers have decided that a great way to boost our ratings is with a game show on Being Groovy with Stevie D. So, we have contestants who will try to correctly answer questions to win an all-expense-paid trip for 1.5 persons over the age of 12 to a local massage parlor of our choice. Transportation not included, but we can give a 10% reimbursement. You'll just have to see Bob in accounting, and he's generally off on Fridays. Anyway, I'm getting very dirty looks from the floor manager right now, so I guess that means I need to introduce today's guests. I always have problems pronouncing that word, darn. Okay, well now let's meet our cool, but not yet quite as groovy as me contestants. Hailing from Sandusky, Ohio, please welcome Victoria Fieldworth.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Stevie. Thank you so much for having me on the show. What an honor to be here. Victoria Fieldworth. I don't do much of anything fancy back at home. I just work at a bakery in the grocery store. So today is somebody's birthday. Oh, well, let's see. Depending on when you see the show, it's likely Uncle Charlie's birthday. We celebrate him every day. And then there's Auntie Lisa, Michelle, Laura, Lisa. I love a bunch of Lisa.
Wonderful.
Susan.
Wonderful.
Happy birthday.
Wonderful. I'm sure all of that, all of the folks back at home in that backwater primitive town of yours are glued to their seats, hoping you'll do better than 3rd place today. Next, let's meet our second contestant, coming all the way from El Segundo, Los Angeles. Please welcome Henry Miller. Henry, you're not the famous author Henry Miller in Disguise, are you? I just love your work. Not that I've read any of it, anyway.
No, I'm not. At least not at this time. And I'm not related to any jazz musicians either. But my name is Henry Miller. I'm not a jazz musician, but I do take piano lessons. Kind of thinking about quitting because my instructor says my playing is atrocious. I think it's a race thing. I'm black, he's white, I'm from El Segundo. Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay, that's very groovy. Let's hope none of your relatives are watching. I've got enough lawsuits already. And thanks for your enthusiasm. It's refreshing, by the way. And last, and probably least, please welcome all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Harriet Vanderspiegel. Just out of curiosity, are you related to Henry Miller?
No, that's very sexist of you, Stevie D. I'm not. But anyways, my name is Harriet Vanderspiegel, and I just want to say to the camera, I am very humbled and lucky to be on public access television today. Great Aunt Cizia, if you're watching, I just wanted to tell you that I've always seen you as somewhat a figure in my life. A figure of a greasy old witch, because your humpback utterly disturbed me as a child, and it was also the way you chewed like a dementia patient with an affliction for oatmeal. You could never make it on television, you greasy hag.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our 3 slightly low IQ, but very adventuresome and eager to viciously bite each other's heads off contestants for tonight's ridiculous debacle. But before we begin with these extremely basic questions, our producers are telling me that if we don't break for commercials, they're going to rip out my pancreas and do an interpretive dance while hanging it from a very large tree. I'd kind of like to see that. I guess they wouldn't like to see that, so let's break for commercials. We'll be right back after this solemnly morbid message about extra crunchy cereal. Hey everybody, Stevie D again with, quite frankly, with Stevie D. A lot of people know that I'm a very famous unknown celebrity, and they want to know what's on my mind because I'm such a smart guy and experienced, and I have a lot of information that could help people. Someone recently posed the question, why should mother-in-laws read very long novels? And I'll tell you why. There's a good reason for it. Look, have you ever had a mother-in-law? I've had several. One. No, I wasn't married to that one. And this one, the mother-in-law was dead. So I've had mother-in-laws. And you know what? If you've ever had a mother-in-law that doesn't read a long novel, you'll know what I'm about to say is very important. I had this mother-in-law. She didn't read a long novel. I had to throw her in the closet, and it was a soundproof closet. I didn't gag her or anything like that, but I put a bucket in, and some water so she was okay, until she said, okay, I'm really ready to read Moby Dick. So I let her read Moby Dick, but I put her in another room that was not close to the TV so I could watch football. Could you imagine if she didn't read the long novel? Poor woman would have died in the closet, and I probably would have been held responsible. Nobody likes that. So it's very important that mother-in-laws read long novels, I'm telling you, for their health and yours. Quite frankly, with Stevie D signing off, have a great evening and enjoy your mother-in-law.
And we're back. Let's get right into our questions, as I know at least one of our contestants was getting excited about the prospects of having a massage with a goat in the same room. Wait, can we say that on public television? I'll call my priest and ask him at the next commercial break. Okay, let's get started. Contestant number 1, Victoria. Stop flirting with Henry Miller. His best work was over 60 years ago. Question. How many pistachios did Richie Cunningham eat on the 3rd episode of the 4th season of Happy Days? You have 30 seconds to answer the question.
Oh my gosh, Stevie, thank you so much again for having me on the show. Pistachios, ooh, one of my favorite nuts, wow. On a great day, I think I can eat a pound of pistachios. So that Richie, oh, he's so darling. Oh, with that little cardigan and blonde hair, ooh. Pistachios, ooh. He could probably eat 2 pounds.
Okay,
right?
thank you. That's incorrect, but I hope it boosts our ratings either way. Contestant number 2, Henry Miller. Are you wearing deodorant? No. Don't answer that question. Here's your question. Is there life after death? You have 30 seconds. Take your time, but be brief.
I like to help old ladies cross the street, but sometimes they don't even thank me for my services. Can you believe the audacity of these women? So you know what I do instead? I just kick their cane and I trip them, let them fall flat on their face to the floor, and then I lean in and whisper, I hope you learned your lesson.
God, I certainly hope no one is watching tonight. What's left of my career will be institutionalized. Incorrect answer, by the way. Contestant number 3, Harriet. Question. Why did Millard Fillmore refuse to allow his vice president to sing gospel songs on the banks of the Charles River? Please try to be as child-friendly as possible with your answer. You have 30 seconds.
No, I don't know what Millard Fillmore, but he does remind me of a boyfriend I had back in the day. I remember on our first date, he picked me up in his 1976 Dodge Dart. The first time he looked at me, he said, Harriet, get away from my car. And then he said, stop calling my house so much. The last thing he said to me before I never saw him again was, if you continue to make advances, Harriet, I'm going to have to get the authorities involved. He was a very strong gentleman, never taking no for an answer. You could really learn from somebody like that, Stevie D.
Thank you very much. That's a wrong answer, by the way. This is as exciting as documenting my mother's bowel movements over the last 3 years of her life. I'm beside myself. I might need to excuse myself at some point. I'm getting all sweaty and worked up. Or was it the spicy tamales I had for lunch? Okay, let's continue before we get yanked off the air again. Victoria, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Question. Why did my parents conceive me in the 4th row of Section 7 in the upper deck of the old Cleveland Stadium? Please be inappropriate if you can. You've got 30 seconds.
The 4th row? Thank you so much again for asking me that question, sir. Cleveland Stadium. Oh, that's a where you play baseball. Yes. So I guess on that day someone wanted to hit a home run. I hope they had a great view.
Okay.
Is that what they were doing, the home runs, Stevie?
Yeah. Wow.
Stevie D.
It's a fantastic answer. Unfortunately, it's wrong, but I think several people on the Eastern Seaboard were impressed. Let's move on from your pathetic weirdness. Henry, stop picking your sores. We'll get complaints from the local Lutheran church. Question. Why are there 12 eggs in a dozen? Please be careful. It's a trick question. You have 30 seconds.
You know, a better question I have is, how come I can't just buy a dozen chickens? Why do I always have to buy a dozen eggs? That makes absolutely no sense to me. And on an unrelated note, did I tell you about that time when I joined an art fraternity? Let me tell you, one of the greatest moments of my life. We didn't even snort cocaine, we snorted glue. And let me tell you, nothing turns up a party like Elmer's.
Wonderful. Unfortunately, your weak answer was incorrect. Groovy, but incorrect. This is definitely the reason why I quit gargling at night. Next question for Harriet. Were your parents sheep herders in Western Afghanistan? No, don't answer that question. That was a bad dream I had. Okay, real question. Who was the real author of Imelda Marcos' third edition of her autobiography? Take a minute to think about it. It's not a trick question. You have 30 seconds, but more than 20 seconds to answer.
Imelda Marcos. Is that book about the secret Aboriginal vocal intonations?
No.
I don't know. Who cares? Do you guys remember Luciano Pavarotti in that inappropriate Speedo bikini? I could never remember the color, but sometimes at nighttime when I close my eyes, I see him right in front of me. And then I can kiss my husband and children goodnight. We're having marital issues at home.
Wonderful.
Is that right?
No, that's a wrong answer too. And it's time for another commercial break. This time about sweat-absorbing shoe insoles. Please don't go away. We've got more insanity coming your way, and it's groovy, baby.
Hey everybody, what a pleasure it's been to have such a great career, be mobbed by lots of foreign women who can't speak English, and get great free meals wherever I travel around the world. But you know, there's one place I keep coming back to, no matter where my travels lead me. I mean, I've been to Russia, China, Egypt, Italy, New York, San Francisco, Paducah, Kentucky, and wherever I've been, of course, the food and company was great, but the absolute best food and companionship I've ever experienced, hands down, was the Dobbins dog in Erie, Pennsylvania with Keith Eberly. I mean it, I'm not joking. He's got the best dog anywhere. Big, thick, and juicy. All of the ladies there say so too. I had it and will never forget the experience. Huh? What? What? What do you mean, get my mind out of the gutter? I'm talking about Dobbins dog. I couldn't put all of it in my mouth at one time, especially with sauerkraut, mustard, relish, onions, pepperoncinis. It was a culinary delight. No other place in the world like it. Dobbins Dogs, Erie, Pennsylvania. Keith Eberly. Tell him Stevie D sent you, and he'll give it to you like you've never had it before. You'll certainly write home about it. Trust me, I should know. I am Stevie D, and I love a good dog. What's this? What? Oh, man, something about FCC shutting me down for obscenity. Come on, it's a hot dog. Peace, baby. And remember, when you're in Erie, PA, don't drink the water. Why can't they drink the water? I drank the water.
And we're back. I don't know if anyone here in the studio audience noticed that homeless person throwing up while exposing himself outside the front door today, but it was really something to see. I myself thoroughly enjoyed it to the point of taking a selfie with him as he asked me for money. I did get a few morsels on my clothing or whatever it was he was eating earlier, but hey, it goes with the job title of host of a popular public access show, right? Okay, well, let's get back to our questions. Next question for Victoria. Are you still here?
Uh-huh.
Good.
Hi.
Question, and this is a tough one that no one's been able to answer the last 4 times I've asked it. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll lollipop? It's not a trick question, and I think it will make you a better person to contemplate it. You have 30 seconds.
Oh, Tootsie Rolls. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for asking. I like Tootsie Rolls, but not all the flavors. I know they've come out with different flavors nowadays, so maybe just the regular Tootsie Roll flavor. Oh, sorry, back to your question. How many licks? 100?
Okay.
Is that even close?
That was actually one of the best answers I've heard since I was released from San Quentin. And your delivery was so enthusiastic that I quite frankly got very excited myself. I was about to tell the stagehand to grab a bucket. It is an incorrect answer, however, but I love your spirit. Okay, let's keep moving before our contestants fall asleep or need resuscitating by a medical professional. Question for Henry. You're in a speeding vehicle going 150 miles an hour when you notice a building that's on fire with a woman holding her baby.
You bring the car to a screeching halt and have only enough time to save either the mother, who's quite ugly by the way, or her infant child. Which one do you save and why? You have 30 seconds and don't be shy.
I actually have a more important question. How much longer do we have to stop calling them colored pencils? I think that's a more important issue at hand. You don't call my people colored anymore, so when are we going to help out those people at Crayola, right? I mean, the most misleading thing about pencils versus colored pencils is that pencils aren't even white. So why do pencils get all the privileges?
That was a very strange answer to an even stranger question, Henry, but I like your style. It reminds me of a famous Van Gogh painting that was burned in a fire, repainted, then burned again. Unfortunately, your answer was incorrect, but our judges said it was the closest answer to being correct since Pee-wee's Playhouse went off the air. Now, let's see if we can get a boost from that grand old lady from Philly, Miss Harriet, if that is your real name. Question: roses are red, violets are blue. Why are the bottoms of people's pants brown after eating beans, sour cream, raw eggs, and figs? You have 30 seconds.
I know this one. Raw eggs and figs. The man wore a wig. When he left home at night, once he took a few swigs. After being left husbandless, your mother needed a cig. My mother used to sing that to me every night before going to bed. She was such a sweet lady.
Thank you.
She loved me.
Yeah, thank you.
Was that right?
No, it's a wrong answer. God, this is so exciting. I could drop a log right here on stage, but I won't for political reasons. And my mom said she won't let me back in the house if I continue to make bathroom references, even though she does wear them. Okay. I'd just like to tell all of our contestants not to get discouraged because we are now going to begin our double secret sudden death questions that are sure to give each of you either an aneurysm, a heart attack, a stroke, or 2 out of the 3 combined. And if that's not something to stay tuned in about, I don't know what is. That and one of our stagehands promised to polka dance alone on a side street nearby after the show. So, Victoria, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Good. Question. After General George Custer was promoted to general, then demoted to colonel, where did he get his hair done? You have 30 seconds, and please try not to scare any small children with your answer.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for asking, Stevie D. Did I tell you it's still an honor to be here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. General Custer, Colonel, did he get demoted or was it a promotion? Gosh, I don't know. You said where did he get his haircut? Oh, well, you know, back at home we have a place called Grins and Giggles. I think that would be the best place for him. He'd get the best cut. Yeah, best cut.
Great. Thank you. Unfortunately, Victoria, that's incorrect. I don't know where you're conjuring up your answers from, but they're very pathetic. Did you actually graduate from middle school, or did you lie on your application to get on this show? You don't have to answer that question, honey. I already know what you're going to say, and it's wrong. Let's move on to the next the next reputable contestant, Henry Miller, if that is your real name. Question for you. Why are the Boston Red Sox called the Boston Red Sox instead of the Boston Quadriplegics or the Boston Basket Weavers or even the Boston Goat Herders? I mean, it is a valid question that many Americans have asked. You have 30 seconds.
That's a great question, but I have an even better topic to discuss: farts. I'm really passionate about it because my dad, he would fart a lot in the car, and then he put the windows on kid lock, and I can't breathe while I'm in the car. So finally one day I just asked my dad, "Dad, why are you always farting on me?" He says, "Son, most black children have never smelled their father's farts." And that's when I knew that I was loved.
Great. Henry, you're such a douchebag. Can I say that on TV? Well, I did. Henry, I like you. Okay, number one, because you're a man, and there's no place for women on TV. Number two, because you're a man, and women don't look good wearing beards. And number three, because you're a man, and I don't know, women should only be looked at as sex objects. Am I right? Don't answer that. And that was incorrect, by the way. Question for Harriet. If a car is traveling from Boise, Idaho to Lincoln, Nebraska at the speed of between 35 and 78 miles per hour, and a train carrying 37 and a half illegitimate children is traveling from Boston to Memphis at between 43 and 62 miles per hour, when will they both stop for lunch? You have 30 seconds.
What? This is insane. All these questions you've asked are complete garbage. The three of us have been talking it over while you've been smoozing the cute stagehands with the idiotic monologues backstage. And we've come to the conclusion that there's no correct answers to any of these questions. I mean, we all would like to win the prize and get a massage with a goat watching us, but the questions are ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Each of us paid $300 to be on this show today, and we want our money back.
That's an incorrect answer, and you're disqualified from the show. Can someone get security to escort this person off the set, please?
Nope.
What?
We don't have any security.
We don't have any security.
Literally none.
Okay. Well, you can stay for now, only because I don't want to get my tuxedo stained with your body fluids. And don't get out of your seat either. Let's move on to our next contestant and question. Someone who knows how to treat a host of a reputable public television game show without insulting them like some other lowlives on the show today. Not mentioning any names, Harriet. Question for Victoria. Who was a sexier vice president of the United States? Richard Nixon or Lyndon Johnson? This is not a trick question, but be careful. You have 30 seconds.
Whoa, Stevie D. You're asking who's sexier. Other than this guy next to me? Wow. Oh, I'm sorry. You were asking Lyndon Johnson or what was the other name? Oh,
Richard Nixon.
Nixon, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know. Either one would be okay, but I really would love to win that massage with the goat in the room. That'd be really interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's incorrect. I can't believe that you don't know which vice president was sexier, Richard Nixon or Lyndon Johnson. Come on, it's a basic third grade social science question. Even my cousin, who only made it to the second grade, can answer that question. Where did they find you imbeciles? The Jerry Springer show? And he's dead too. You're lucky that I'm in a good mood today, or I'd throw all of you out. Well, let's go on to the next question, to a man, the only contestant on the show who really deserves to win. Henry, wake up. Stop playing with yourself. Question. Why did the Cleveland Browns call themselves the Cleveland Browns? Now, this is an easy one. If you can't get this right, you really should have your vocal cords removed. You have 30 seconds.
Stevie D, no disrespect intended. I mean, I really love your show, and I think you are the greatest TV host since Johnny Carson.
Thank you.
But I'm having a lot of trouble understanding your questions. And honestly, whether this massage parlor with a goat isn't some sort of diversion to keep yourself on the air. I grew up here in LA, and I've never heard any of these questions before. I don't understand the validity of your material. And to be honest, none of your material is even funny. Sorry, but I have to be honest.
Is that the thanks I get for having the three of you on the show? I cannot believe the ingratitude. Well, I've got half a mind to beat each one of you with the wooden stick I keep in the back room. And I'd show it to you, and it's a sexy back room too, with a lot of chains, leather, sex toys, but no, you don't deserve it.
You're absolutely disgusting. You're like an unappreciative child, and I bet that's not even a real tuxedo.
Of course it's a real tuxedo.
I was warned about coming on the show today. The last guest on your show couldn't find work for 6 months just being associated with you.
Yeah, to be honest, I met a legitimate Hollywood producer, and he said, don't go on that show. I was desperate, though. I had my breast reduction surgery, and I really needed the work, so I needed the exposure. But you promised me, Stevie D, that there would be some influential casting directors here, and I don't see anyone in the audience. Where is Tom Hanks? Where is Miss My Favorita Rita Wilson? Where is she? Oh my God, there's no one here. I don't see anyone. You even said your good friend Steve Gutenberg would be here, personal friends. I don't see him. I want my money back,
Yeah,
sir.
me too.
Sir?
There's no one here but that homeless man in the corner that almost threw up on me. And I wasn't even in the selfie.
Ingrates. What about you, Henry? You want your money back too?
I gotta pay my visa this week, and the money I put as a deposit to secure my place on this show was my visa payment. To be honest, this show sucks.
Big time, it sucks donkey.
Ah, no need for that. Don't be vulgar.
All right, I'm sorry I went too far. It sucks horse penis.
No.
That's uncalled for. I can make or break your careers with my influential contacts.
If anybody actually sees this show, our careers are done for. I'm gonna have to go back to Philadelphia and sell pizzas for my uncle's restaurant at this point.
I probably won't get any new work after anyone sees me on the show.
I really wanted to pet the goat. I've never seen one in person, nor have I gotten a massage with even a picture of a goat in the room.
You are stupid. You're talking about goats when he's swindling us out of our money here. I say we tear his tuxedo apart and sell it to get some of our money back.
Hey,
That's probably
watch,
not
watch.
a bad idea. We could sell it with my uncle at his shop. Sell it overseas or maybe on Amazon.
Do you think goats would like the tuxedo?
God, you're stupid. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I better get out of here or they'll rip this tuxedo to shreds. Good night, everybody. See you next time on Being Groovy with Stevie D.
And I did my nails for
Hey,
this
hey,
show.
hey, hey, watch it. Hey, that's an expensive tuxedo. I bought it at Nordstrom's.